is a philanthropist, TV and radio personality. She is a community worker and Tete, who is joining us in the studio today. Hello and welcome to On the Set. My name is Wadzanai. We are coming to you live from Sly Media TV. And joining me on the set is Tete Tilder. I would like to welcome you.
Thank you very much, Wadza.
And to everyone that's joining us, make sure you've liked the page and you share. My likes, takamutaura, ngawande. My likes, ngawande. Without taking much of your time, let us take you to Tete Tilder. Hello, Tete.
Hello, Wadza. How are you? No, I'm good, thanks, and you?
I'm quite nervous because it's not every day you interview a great household name. Tilder. No, it is your shadow that we're scared of. But I'm happy to have this opportunity to be talking with you and interviewing you.
Actually, it's also an honor to be on this platform.
No, that's great.
Yes.
So we would like to start with probably your journey.
Okay.
Just to hear from you how your journey has been, radio, TV. How has that been for you, generally?
Okay. I think my journey on radio and television, it all started in 1986. Right, it all started in 1986. Actually, I remember when it started. Things were not as difficult as it is these days. Kudara right. Nenya education ye munomu Zimbabwe yanga iri so powerful zokuti munhu wese aenda kuchikoro whether wasvika A level wasvika O level and then form 2 yanyorwa zvekare waita ma certificates you'd just get anything chawaikwanisa kuzoita in life. So I remember when I did my O levels. Okay, by the way, I went to school in Bulawayo, which is where I was born. Actually, ndakazvarwa Mpilo Hospital. Ndikadzidza kuBulawayo ndakakura kuPhelandava. I went to Induba Primary School. For my high school, I went to Founders High School, right? So after I finished my high school, takauya kuHarare. I had my aunt who used to stay in Harare in Highfields. So like we used to come for holidays. So that's when I said, okay, I just want to try something in Harare. Sakapatakauya, I remember my first job after my high school. Takashanda pa an insurance company in Legal and General. By then, tichita clerical work. We just like my mama school leavers. Takawanda chikweta clerical work, filing chichi and so forth. So one day, one of my sales rep by Tengesa Insurance, he just came through. Akati askana, pane anyone ane maoz akakwana ere ku ZBC kurudiwa vanhu. Tikati okay, tikati yes, zvikanzi but kurudiwa vanhu vari bilingual. Unofana ngochiziva English shona indebele. So I happened to have all those my qualifications aidiwa. So ndakavananza, all right, just go to Mbare Studios. Kurikutodiwa narutoitwa ma auditions izvezvi. So I went there. Ndasvika ikoko, I was referred by then to the head of the station, nguva yainzi Radio 2, Mr. Godwin Mbofana. Ndopa ndakaenda ndikanovaona. Saka I was the youngest. I remember that time I was 21 years. Saka ndakabva ndaita the youngest pavana. Akantarisa akati, do you think you can do this? Ngati, yes, I can. And then we went through the auditions. After we did the auditions, and I happened to be one of the top people who qualified. Saka from there, I went through a lot of training. Ikoko ku ZBC. Like that time, you'd go through like all the departments, right? If you wanted to be a presenter, you would go through all the departments. Like we had the library, kwakune like mabooks, matapes, kudhara kwakusina zvedu zvokuti tine information unokwanisa kuisa mulaptop and so forth, no, kwakutori like mahard copies of everything. Matape chaiwo ekuti maenda muchinorekodha, tatine mazimachine mahombe ekuti paunorekodha unouya nezitepu rakadai, you play it muchiedita. I remember the editing that we used to do. It wasn't like editing yatinoita pamanhingikini. Angari matape, you'd like pane yenzi splice editing. You'd listen to a tape, pausingade wotokata like pane kutokata, yes. Then wojoinidza paunenge uchida, you know, and everything would be like, yeah, would come out very, very clean. So I went through all the departments, like wakune archives, yema books, archives, yema tapes, technical operators, my studio. Most of my programs, they were pre-recorded. So like you would need an operator or someone to record you. You'd actually record yourself. Waitopinda mu studio to set my tapes ako everything. Ndinotozati ndakutotanga uchitoita presentation yako yeshow yako, playing my records, uchijoinidza nema interviews aunongoenda kujoinidza within the program, and the program like would come out very, very clean. So yeah, ndo imwe training that we went through, like yeku technical operation. And then we also had mu studio imo pachamo. Like these days things are so easy, no there. Like when you get into a studio, urikuzoti chazoda connecta kune bhora, chazoda kudai. So my presenters, you'd actually be trained pane yainzi pitch field. Pauno connecta ma cables. Uchafanda zoti right toda kubata vari kurufaro, ndicha connecta apa ma cables angu ndokufanda kuita apa izvi zvazva pa fader e. And then maybe during your show, say pamwe urikwanisa kuita ma crossover, pamwe kune something happening kurufaro, there's something happening ku Heroes Eka, Chichi. So before you start your show, you'd need like an hour. Yeah, you'd report for duty an hour before your show. And then uchinyatsoza kuti zvinhu zvako zvakalaina up say. And then if it's gonna be Bora, Heroes Eka, chakati, then you do your own macables ayekupeja wokuona kuti zvinhu zvese zvain order. Wakunyatsotsa right apa ndichasimudza fade apa ndichasimudza. So these days tikuona kuti life ka it's easy. Chako kungosvika wongogara unongochingodzwa kuti right, okay, we are crossing over, we are crossing over. You know, it's so easy these days. But yeah, it's just, I think the training that we went through, yanga yakatopinga. And yakatidzidzisa zvinhu zvakawanda stereke in life. Yeah.
Because now it's like, oh, that's actually much simpler.
Exactly. Okay. And then the other thing, like you'd be trained everything. Kuva presenter, even kuverenga news, chero usingaverenge news, you were supposed to know all that. I remember one day, I was on duty. Then kwakuita kuchitwa news ma vernacular languages, the Shona news reader was there. Akabvaverenga achipe arikuverenga a minute before asatapedza tikaudzwa kunzi Ndebele news reader is not in the studio. Here is the script, you'll have to do the news. Apo rupiwa script riri in English, uyo apedza urikuverenga uchitranslata uchibva wapresenta ende zvitori live. Yes.
But that was more great because now you knew how to like conduct any particular post.
Anything, any situation. Yes.
So how was it on air? Like the first time you were on air. How did
All right. I remember very well when I was just getting ready to go on air. I think it took me about 6 months, like okay, I was ready, I'd gone through everything. Saka ndatomira kuti tichienda on air. Handigara ndichienda chimwe okay, pinda mu studio, ramba uchitry, tichipractice mu studio. You know, munhu wakutobhoekana kuti saka when will I ever go on air? So one day, just before the 10 o'clock show, I remember it was a musical show. Nditori mu studio ndakato relax ndakanzi okay, This is it. You're going to present the show live pa radio izvezvi. Ndakambotsvaka kutsvaga ma-excuses kuda kuti uchiziva kuti unofanira kubuda ndiende mustudio apo rotarisa dhore tobuda uda kutorova pasi. No, but you've been worrying us.
Exactly. This is something you wanted.
I was ready. It's something that I wanted.
Yeah.
You know, the first time, zvinhu zvawajaira, zvaunoziva, zvawaiona every day. Unoza ma-buttons, ma-fader, unomashaya. Unotanga kuziva kuti saka panapa. You know, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, for the first few minutes, yeah, unombingori shocked, but later you get
relax.
to relax.
Yeah.
Get to relax after that. Everything.
It just flows.
flowing.
Oh, that's amazing. It's like what's happening now. Wait, I'm anxious because I'm like, my way. But you get into it. Yeah, that's
Of course,
Also, I was wondering, what big names, and for people who went there in 1986, what big names did you work with Radio too?
I can say they were all big.
Yeah.
I can say they were all big. I can say they were all big. Yeah. In the Isusu, I think time, yataka pinda ku radio. Kwakusatwa na Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah.
I always say to people, you know, I think the time that we went on radio, even on television, you know, it was really huge for us. And actually, it's like now, if I'm to ask you, how many presenters do you know? Maybe ndikada mention ama radio stations, radio station
yakati.
Mama radio station unutusha zoti vanhu vachizana.
Exactly, yeah.
But with us, it was very easy. Everyone was just famous. Pama radio stations esangaripo, because that was the only entertainment that was there. Music chayo papa sina zvokudownloada. Zvokuti kune latest I'm going to download. Latest yes ainzwikirwa pa
radio.
So everyone like would be waiting for kunzwa pa radio kuti atoda kunzwa kuti music nyowani iripo ndeipi. So I think everyone was just big.
All right.
Was just big, yeah.
And being 21 and having these big names, amajaira kungonzwa pa radio, wasn't it like threatening? Not threatening, that's not the word. Didn't it like shock you? Oh my word. Yeah,
you know, just like what you were saying.
Yes.
Before we had this interview.
Yeah,
it was like that. I remember some of my role models, by then, I don't know if people were watching just now what it was. Vananyasha Madzingira, she was very, very famous on radio too. Vanasemu Kitiga, Vanajo Panganai, you know, all those names. I know new generation names when I who are those people.
Yeah.
But that time and one Vairira, Vaipisa, so you can imagine how it was. And then you just get that opportunity. Usinambogara wambofungira and usinambogara wamboplana kuti one day ndinozoenda pa radio. But you just get that opportunity. Kutona zvoshua aikaka. Konda kutotaura naningi, konda kutoshanda tese kotataura, you know, it was just exciting.
All right. And who would you say was your role model going into the industry?
I used to like and follow a lot Nyasha Matingira.
Yeah.
By then she was Nyasha Matingira. She's now Nyasha Maposa.
Okay.
Yeah, she was my role model.
All right. Yeah. And what parts of her Amgati, like I got this from listening to her, from working with her, just generally. Kuti, what did you appreciate most when it came to her work?
She was a very cool and natural person.
Yeah.
Actually, I learned a lot from her. You know, to be a presenter, a broadcaster, or just a socialite.
Yeah.
You just have to be yourself.
You do.
You don't have to imitate anyone. Be who you are. And what is important at the end of the day, humbleness. Yeah, if you stay humble, you'll go far.
No, that is true. Thank you. I think our listeners are hearing. If you stay true to yourself, you will go far, and if you're humble. So would like to thank you for tuning in and for watching us. We are live from our Sly Media studios in the capital city to wherever you are. And joining us on the set is Tete Tilder, who is sharing with us her journey in the industry and just talking to us to get to know her more and just to, you know, connect with her and know more apart from just just getting to know her as a person. And it's amazing, it's beautiful to see. And also I wanted to ask Kuti, when you started, which shows were you doing for the benefit of those? Which shows were you doing?
All right, when I started radio, mostly it was the entertainment shows. Like on Radio 2 by then, and Akwaziso, musical shows, and then Mama request shows, and then radio. By the way, we were the first presenters of Ezomgido.
Oh yes, I remember. Yes. Yes, every Thursday. Yes.
Yes.
No, we used to watch it.
Okay.
And you mentioned that you didn't really you didn't know you were going to get into radio or TV, but just by the opportunity of getting there. So what then drove you to go to we hear and we're just there like, sure, is this really happening? What made you go into that direction?
I remember what happened when I first did that show. By then, pane panakangopiwa a slot of a show yemakuseni. We're talking of my 3 a.m.
Okay.
Right, but not my graveyard shift. Which pane pasina kana munhu anoteerera kana kuti chi anditya. So I remember my first show yandakaita yezvinoyera zvinotyisa wakati. Mazuva atanga vanhu kungonzwa nyaya dzesatanism. So there was a story of this guy who was a student who got into this satanism thing. So I thought, you know what? Some of these things we just hear about them, and people would not even want to talk about it.
Yeah, true.
So that's when I said, no, you know what? So Kuvada tried this guy. Actually was coming out in the open. I just want to get out of this thing. I spoke to him, then we agreed to go to our show. I tell you, the show was like every Sunday morning. So the week I supposed to go to our show. There were a lot of things that were happening in the even up to now people think they were very spiritual. It took me 3 weeks kuti azokwanisa kuyamba show. Pekutanga pakangoita complications. Kechitu when he was on his way kombi anga akakwira vaita accident. And then I told my bosses, no, this issue, this is what is happening. So like when all this was happening, I would give a feedback to our listeners. So everyone was like, okay. Then no, actually it took 4 weeks. KT3 my bosses no chita kuti driver and anompika kumba kwake. So driver day before the shift akaenda kanoona kumba kwacho kuti pamba pacho apa. Then dera supposed kuti anga chair on air. When the driver went akaita chadzimira akashaya address.
Yeah.
Kushaya address. Akaishaya. Then so everyone was like, this story imitated my what is really going on?
Yeah.
So until finally came the fourth week.
Yeah.
So when he came the 4th week, he started sharing his story. I remember when we were in the middle of the interview.
Oh, wow.
You can imagine magetsi adzima une munhu mustudio akutaura hora akamhara mudarkness true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just something.
Oh, wow.
So these are some of the experiences that was. I remember Jairoroga. Ndakavhura Don Chimanya, ndakabuda because you know how our studios are like when it's darker,
munotarima
rima riye apa mukutaura mnabva kutaura hora magetsi boom. Yeah. So yeah, these are some of the experiences.
So doesn't it scare you sometimes venturing into these stories, because we've heard so many, we've followed so many stories. Doesn't it then scare you knowing that these things are happening in the world?
Okay, I think in maybe it's the way I was brought up, and then maybe even kunamata kwanaita. I grew up in the church on the Apostolic faith. They know it church I was somewhere, right? Even my parents, one way I namata very serious. So it's also we've always been told kuti kufa murawa mwari, and the kind of time you're going to face at yakwana, nothing will ever happen to you. I always say this. Kuti unoona muna chipinda muaccident moto pukanywa but as long as time yako isati hapana chinokuwana. And then izvozvo kuti nemakakura muchingoenda kuchechi hamuzive zvinhu zvakawanda, you don't even know warwara waita sei nemuchingonamata zvongoita bo zvongoendeka. So like when you grow up now, wabva kumaparents wakutanga kuona zvimwe zvinhu zviri kuitika, saka unenge zvimwe curiosity chakuti zvinhu zvakadai zvinoitika, so unoda kutanga kufollowa manje kuti uchiona. So
no, so it's more about your strength and prayer and just how you are inside kuti munotozvisimbisa kuti no, this is really what's there. So oh no, that's good. And also also on your philanthropic work, the visits that you do kuma prisons, you visit my prisons, and for the benefit, maybe you could share that part. Just give us more intel on what it is that motivated you to actually go kuma prisons and do all that.
All right. Kuma prisons, I remember I used to be so much afraid of wesanongo in the prison. Munhu anenge atongofika hembe yekujere ndaitotya ndaitoona dziri moti rapist, you know, all those crimes dzavanoita. So one day, I follow a lot of my programs anobuda pama televisions. So I used to follow my programs ekune dzimwe nyika. Uchitonzwa kuti munhu uyu ari mujere, but haana kana kumbopara mhosva, yaitotora makore. Then I said, okay, maybe the same thing inogona kunge ichiitika muno. So ndakatanga kulaiza nemaprisons emunomo, ndikati okay fine, we also do a lot of charity work. Maybe kumaprisons ikoko pane vanhu vanogona kunge vachida help. Saka that's how I got into that. Toda kungonzwa vanhu kuti zvakamira sei kana pane vanhu vari kuda help. So I started working with my rehabilitation officers ekuma prisons, where they would say, yes, there are some cases paunofila kuti munhu uyu vana vavanhu vatakugara navo tinotovaonawo sevanhu muchitaura pane mumwe unonyatsonzwa kuti uyu anototaura kuti inini chokwadi mhosva hanamboipara but zvakamira zvakadai. So ndopatakatanga kuenda tichinomita those people, tichiita ma-interviews. I think a lot of people, they know very well. Pane vamwe sekuru atakamboita interview. Sekuru ava vakapiwa sentence about 38 years, I think. Ivo pachava vari kuma 70 something. Vanzi vakarepa, but time yavaka accused of that, vavatori necatheter yekuti there was no way in which he could have committed the crime. So when we did an interview with him, a lot of people thought to sympathize, let's get a lawyer. We managed to get a lawyer, Nyamvadzokera and Sekuru Vakatumbuda. And about 38 years, Zawangwa to save, I think, about 3 years. And he was very, very sick. But Vakatu Kwanzabuda. And then we later discovered, no, Inya Yakaitka Musha Kwavo, Vavapiwa, Musha, then somebody wanted Musha Iwoyo. Something like that. So it's There are a lot of such cases. These people, like some of them, they are innocent. Of course, we are not saying one is original.
Yeah, very innocent.
But
Genuinely, yeah.
Maybe akashaya vakakwanisa kumubatsira kumurepresenta legally.
Alright.
So that's when we come in and help, and then chiwana chance yekuti nyavo appeal or something like that.
Okay, no, that because usually when we are watching as my viewers, you don't really know what's on the ground. When you hear a story, you're quick to say, no, why are you taking this particular case? This person was already judged, this person was already given a sentence, and we don't take time to really understand what really happens. But yeah, we're quite grateful. Maybe you can share with our viewers what the name of the show is, when it when you have it.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, the show in on the Behind Bars. All right, is for Pasture FM every Tuesday, Maneruna 10:30. But we also have it on our platform, Tilder Live Zim. Besides the show, we also have Mama interviews, Ananga Chikonse na my prisoners as well, any other time. And like whenever we feel kuti apapane need, we just bring it anytime at nama particular times, especially but not apapane emergency, we just come live anytime.
All right, thank you, and I hope our viewers will also tune in to watch, because these are inspirational stories, these are testimonials also. So I also wanted to hear from you as a woman within the media industry. Let us come to the woman, to the woman, not just the presenter. How have you experienced the industry? Because usually media, people feel like it's male dominated. But how has been your experience in that regard when it comes to gender within media?
Yeah, you can say that when it comes to gender. Numbers are teaching. Like, have you heard kuti vana vadiki say mwana arikuenda kana ku daycare iri kusanganisa vana maybe vamwe varungu vamwe vanotema vana avazive kala. So I think it's just the same with this job. When we are in there, aufanda kuona kuita funga dzokuti murume inenzi mukadzi basa ibasa ende ma talents edu anosiyana, just push whatever you have or just your talent. Okay, this is a male, I'm female, but like when it comes to this industry, I think we are just all equal.
Yeah, that's thank you for that.
Of course, there are times when maybe naturally as a woman, nobody mama cases, and then you feel as a woman, maybe I need to be the voice of these people, I need to stand up for other women as well. But not only women, even men. Even men. Like especially if we look at my cases in GBV, right? Mostly we are talking about women. But ukazobata case yemunhurume arikurohwa nemukadzi uchazoona kuti inotozoita noise mupfuura yemukadzi arikunzi arikuita sei arikurohwa nemurume. So this is what I'm saying kuti let's just see this as like we're just
equal. Yeah. All right. No, thank you for that enlightenment. I think that also it actually talks to other young people who are trying to get into the industry. Don't just focus on the gender. Don't focus on the gender. We are all equal when it comes to work. And I don't think it just speaks to media. I think it goes to all all walks of life. When you get into work, don't consider gender. And did you have any sad moments when it comes in your career where you were just there like Zandi Bata steering and you just never shared about it?
I think I once shared this. I've had some sad moments. Yeah, I remember Panyaya, which made a lot of noise some years back. Marine. Oh
I
yes,
think a lot
I
of
remember that one.
people know about that story. When I talk about satanism, you know, it will be a story it will develop. Uchifamba uchifollowa, right? Pane mwana fona ndakapiwa ring, right? Ndakutsvaga friends acho, friends wawana. You break the news to my parents. They were also shocked. Takatoinza nyaya paredio paradii nokuti mwana kutaura mwana wangu. Mwana uya muri muprocess yekubatsirana nevana vaya zvichita sei muchiita sei. One of the girls died.
Oh, shame.
Nyayo yakambonibata apa upa vanhu update everyday. Okay, mwana uya yeko zvino actiza asikuonekwa, right, azowanikwa. At least you are in process yekuti rege tione kuti mwana aende kuhospital or something because anga are mentally disturbed. Well, at least you're doing that. The other family yevana vari involved munonzi imba yavo yatsva. Mambosiya uyu makumbomutsva imba mukutraya kufollowa kuti zviri kufamba sei. Then after that apa madivert attention mabva kunewe maoko ozonza uyu
That must have been devastating.
Yeah, it was devastating.
And how did you deal with that?
You know, you at the end you just accept it. But okay, this is it. But what I was happy about that situation is at least people got to understand spiritual and I remember that time a lot of parents you know what,
this is real.
This is real, this is happening. Vana vakutanga kuchitaurwa vachienda kuchikoro, usadye zvinhu zvatisina kukupa, usachive zvinhu, ukaona munhu ane zvinhu zvake usazvichiva, usiuza kuti zvinhu izvozvo zvekufa kopi. So at least something came out of that. That
a conversation started.
That whole situation.
No, that must have been devastating.
Yeah,
because especially when you're working with someone, you think, no, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. We'll get there.
You know, when you from any story, you're hoping to at the end, through the results are positive. Then you don't get to get there.
Yeah. But I think it also gives a lesson. At times this will happen. There's some cases that you won't then resolve them as much as you might even want to. I think maybe let's go back to your journey in the media business. How did you become a TV presenter?
Okay, just like the way I got into radio, there was an advert. They wanted some television presenters for the musical program in Mvenge-mvenge, by the name Mvenge-mvenge. And then a lot of people came through for the auditions. I remember when we first went there, I remember directing the first auditions. It was on a Saturday. That's when I said, you know what, I'm not going. But my husband said, no, you have to go. They said, I don't think I'll make it. I'm not going. Then he insisted, no, just go. And then I just did what I could. Then after that, when I went, I was not well. I did terrible headache. I don't think it could find anything. I got no, as long as one way touch it. Okay, fine. Then I was surprised. I came in the shortlist of and I can't teach it for the second audition. I said, really? So when I went for the second audition, I don't know no more. People pinda pa TV pato, then after that, who made it. It was Eric Knight, John Peary, myself, and Captain Sipa.
Oh wow. Yeah. The names. I know those names.
Yes,
Well, that must have been amazing.
Oh, it was.
That's great. Now we're going to go on a short break, but we will be back. Tete Tilder will be venturing more into her story as an individual, not just the presenter that you are used to seeing. So stay tuned and make sure you are sharing this link, share the post, and if you have anything that you want to say, make sure you put it in the comments so that we are able to read it out. If you have questions, then we'll read them out. Thank you.
By Chevy Music.
Tete Tilder, I hope you are sharing. We are live on Sly Media here in the capital, and we are coming to you wherever you are. Talk about convenience. And we are just here to hear Tete Tilder's testimonial, not just a testimonial, but just her whole journey, which is quite inspirational, how she started, what pushed her into whatever she's doing. So now we're going to mellow it down a little bit and talk about family. Just to hear you as a wife, as a mother, and probably as a daughter as well. But first, I think, Inina personally, what I want to hear is how you met your husband.
Oh my God. Okay, all right. Totangira pa.
Pektanga.
Yes, manjere kam family. Pandakazvarirwa wakati.
Atinatange pa husband pamwongo. Tukuda pamwongo. Yes.
Okay. All right. I met my husband
2022.
36 years ago.
Whoa.
Right.
Wow. Wow.
I met my husband 36 years ago in Bulawayo.
Okay.
Yeah, by then I remember, okay. I had just been transferred from Barry Studios to Montrose. Saka ngari ku Bulawayo, ari ku NRZ. Pangachiri in apprentice ikoko. Yeah, so okay. I had this best friend of mine, right? Saka best friend wangu ya manje. Angane boyfriend yake. Yakudhara manje kwakusati kwane mafoni. So the boyfriend happened to be a colleague and friends with my husband.
Okay.
So my husband I got somewhere in town, right? Actually my apprentice school in RZ. So friend one day, I had just been transferred now about 2 weeks, right? So I about 2 weeks in Bulawayo. But depending on the town, and now so the boyfriend with friend young anga transfer akugweru ku NRZ vavari ma apprentice phase akabati ndoda kunotumira message because that time the only way yataifambisa nayo ma messages either kunyora tsamba kana kuti kufona kare inonzi landline yaishamisira gesture.
Yes.
So tatinana ma landline kumba. So iye manje aida kunoudza ma friends boyfriend yake kuti ndibatirei Richard kugweru mumudzo chakachakachakachaka ndavati asaka ndiperekedze pane ma friends Richard anogara paflat here saka toda kuenda kunoita sei kunotumira message. So I remember we were 3 in the friend yangu anonzi Bosi, she's now based in Cape Town, imwe anonzi Lucy, she's in the UK. Saka tasvika paflat paya akati second floor. Tikati no iwewe kaisusu takusara takagara basi panapa iwe chimanya unoita sei unoisa message yako chipedza uiti tese takasite kuenda kumba. Susu takakura nemaparents anga ari very strict. Waiti kana wapinda mutown unototarisirwa wacho kuti waenda kunoitei ndezvakuita zvichatora time yatoita sei. Tikati enda shaukasike, we need to go back home. Zvasina basa kuti wakushanda no. So bvaenda pinda taura asvika vanhu varipo ndanchida kunozotaura Monday maenda kubasa mozofonera Richard momudza kuti chakachakachakachaka, like that's how she used to communicate nemukomana wake. Then after that kanzi handichagari ndine vanhu vandasiya pasi. Kanzi vanhu wasiya pasi kanzi kanzi kwakadi kokwira vanhu vachikanda aiwa noti kutomhanya kanzi aiwa 100 toda kuvaona vanhu vacho ivavo. Kubva vatsika varito muraite regirls I still born. What. So my husband was very, very talkative. Saka apedza alright saka makuenda takuenda alright mara tikuperekedze kumalift taenda kuEgodini. Takufamba then afatatoka zvinhu. Then tozonza friend yangu zvikati ivi mukomana uyu ati hanzi
tafambira message.
No, tafambira kuti tikumove wazodayo zvodai. I think it took us about 3 months. Yatingonetsa munhu aufaira ari kujamuka ta asi kuda. Saka friend yangu manje but uyu pavanhu vese pasquad yese uyu ndiye munhu bo manje. Siyana nazvo izvozvo. So that time I remember ndaishanda kuMontrose. So taiva nestaff bus saka taitikawa nestaff bus yange nemabus stop 2 yoti pamwe painge pagrass hat anova nokubhula vanopaze vamwe vanhu vaitanga kuburukira ipapo and then vamwe vozonoburukira kulast stop. So ndaiti ndikaburuka pandoona munhu akandimirira kuneta please chichi. So ndaiti ndikasaburuka ipapo ndanoburukira last bus yanga kutemera kaona ndisina kuburuka bus bariri kudai onomira kupi kulast bus stop. Saka patakazoona ndonyaya yacho ndikati no ndakutaimira robot. Saka nai ndikasaburukira apa parinongomira parobot ndoburuka parobot uzosvika uko hapana. All right, okay, maybe to cut the long story short, it took us about 3 months kuti tizonyatokwanisa kuita manegotiations kungotaura. Then after that ndazopedzisira ndakuona dzunguriya kungwarisa kuya okay handichakuoni tinenge taburirana wakudai. So I think that's how the thing started up until today.
Oh, 36 years. 36 years. No, that's a blessing. That is really a blessing. And what values would you say you got from your family that you've passed down into your own family now?
I think importance of family, appreciating each other, and love.
Love, yes.
And I just want to thank God. I've just seen that in my children as well, right? And we were blessed with 4 children, 3 girls and a boy.
Ooh.
Also blessed with the Wakwasha we do too, right? Yes. And so I'm just seeing, I count my blessings every day.
Oh, that's amazing.
And we also have 2 grandchildren.
Oh.
2 granddaughters.
Oh,
so we count our blessings every day.
All right. And what words would you have for the young people, knowing that not just young people, for everyone, knowing what you've seen, the work you've done, all of it, what wise words would you leave with everyone today?
Okay. What I can say is love is a beautiful thing, and love conquers everything. No matter what situation, my problems, and by the way, one of my favorite shows these days, near the marriages, it cannot be easy, but what is important at the end of the day is kungowirirana, to compromise until you manyatsowirirana. Maybe unogona kuti apa moyo is not meant for me kana kuti chakati. If you just take time to work on your marriage zvakanaka chaizvo kumberuko zvinoita so easy. And I think at the end of the day, love is a beautiful thing, and love conquers everything. Yeah, that's my last.
Mazinzwira from Tete Tilder. Those are our closing words. Love conquers all. Love, family, just uniting. So we'd like to thank you, Tete, for joining us and giving me the opportunity to speak with you and to learn more about you as a being. There you have it, guys. We would like to thank you for also tuning in and watching this interview. Be sure to share this post and be sure to give us my likes in, you guys. We want those likes. Do not stop liking, reposting, and following our pages. And also make sure to tune into Tete Tilder's shows and to get more inspirational stories, because the work that she's doing is really philanthropical and it is great in our community. So, Sarai Jaganaka, tunokuonai next time.